accidentally hurt my knee. This is the life of a YouTuber and I don't want it. Hi guys, it's Lianne and welcome to the beginning of my 24 and 48 vlog. This will be the first time, cross fingers, that I have successfully vlogged an entire readathon. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. So it's an hour before I start the readathon. Technically the readathon is in Eastern Standard Time, so for me it starts at 5 AM on Saturday, but I am going to get some early hours in starting at midnight my time, and I'm just going to go midnight to midnight because I can't do maths and that's better. So as you can see, we are in my bedroom right now. I am literally bedding down to go to sleep. Helen is playing. What are you playing, Helen?
Some shooty game.
Some shooty game. I think it's some version of Call of Duty on her PSP and chilling with the kitty, which is roughly how we finish most of our nights off. So before midnight hits, I am going to try to finish Two Boys Kissing by David Readathon. I am on page 147 of 244, so it's really manageable. I should get it done really quickly, although if I have to keep pausing to ugly cry, I might not get it done that quickly. Also, as I first go into the readathon, so from midnight onwards, I am actually going to be reading a book that is not on my TBR. I am also buddy reading The Good People by Hannah Kent with Acacia from Acacia Eyes, and I don't want to fall behind on it again because I've already done that once. So I am going to catch up to where we should be on this one, and then I am going to dive into one of my readathon books. So wish me luck. You guys, I woke up to 2018 subscribers. You are all really amazing, and I legit ugly cried. I seem to be doing that a lot recently. Okay, let's have some on my face. So my plan for today is to clean up the study. I don't know if you can see sort of in the background there, but there's a pile of posters and my desk is absolutely covered in trash. We cleaned out a couple of rooms and it all seems to be here. I mean, it's all mine. I am going to now start listening to either Planetfall or The Black Prism. I'm feeling more like Planetfall. I'm feeling more like Planetfall's gonna happen. I managed 24 minutes of reading last night before insomnia shut my body down and said it's time to actually sleep now because we've been up for many hours. So I'm very thankful to whoever gave me a full night of sleep last night, but it didn't really help the readathon reading. Why would anything help me? But this is wasting time. Onwards!
This book is read by Emma Newman. For Kate, and everyone who loved her. Wasn't even the tiniest bit worried about Dad's cancer. They were going to save a life. Where did it stop? Making copies? We looked down the ethics of that.
It is now Fitbit work. 10:35. I've been reading for just over 2 hours. I've been listening to Emma Newman's Planetfall book 1. And it's interesting. I like the book. I keep thinking, oh, this is just okay, and then she'll do something else and I'll be like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Okay, liking it more now, and I keep going through that cycle. The thing that I think is maybe letting it down a little bit is Emma Newman, who's the narrator's narration of her own book. I know that's maybe a bit controversial because it's always nice when an author narrates their own work, but I find that works better in memoir rather than fiction, and I really wish that somebody else had done it and it was somebody else who was like really doing the voices. That is my phone. That is someone liking the fact that I'm reading Planetfall. Look at that phone inception. And while I'm here, because I never vlog, I want to give you some quick book mail. So I have just literally opened the packages for this baby. This is From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the naked, give me it. Look at the naked hardback. I mean, though. Caitlin Doughty wrote When Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, which was her memoir about becoming a crematory worker and founding the Order of the Good Death and her Ask a Mortician channel, etc. and so forth. This one is her exploration into what's going on in the world of death, death perception, death innovators, the changing ways that we can be buried and, you know, see ourselves. And so I'm super excited for this. Her tone is just mwah. And the other one that I got is this absolute brick. This is The Revolution of Marina M by Janet Fitch. Now, by the time that you see this vlog, I think you will have already seen, possibly, my most anticipated from my shelves, from my literary fiction shelves, in which I discuss my relationship with Janet Fitch. And I try not to purchase more than one book from an author if I haven't tried them before and they're on my shelves, because that can end up being dangerous, and I've been burned by that before. But at the same time, I've had the experience where I've had one book from an author on my shelf for years, then been more attracted to a newer book, read the newer book, fallen in love with them, read the older book, appreciated it more. This one is literally about Marina M, who's a young girl growing up in 1916 in Russia, and it's her coming of age tale, and it is a big Russian saga in the sort of vein of the classic Russian sagas, and I am very much looking forward to it. Yes. So anyhow, it is now 10:51.
Predictable effect upon him, and I see him relax in moments. That's why I took him to her instead of Dr. Lee.
Okay, so guys, this is me dressed up. Oh, the Hoover's in the way. Let's move the Hoover. Okay, this is me dressed up. Look, it's all of me. You don't usually see all of me. Ta-da! So, not that I don't love you guys and all, but this is what I look like when I do things. This isn't BookTube. Well, sometimes I look like this, let's be perfectly honest. Usually I have like crisp crumbs. Oh, brah. Bonus! I have crisp crumbs over here and on my chin, and like maybe yesterday's mascara on, and second day hair, and, you know, jammies instead of fishnets. You can't even see that leg. This is so inelegant. But this is me. I'm gonna take my camera with me, and we'll see what kind of things we see at the Burnt Supper. As for reading, I continued to read Planetfall, although I had an upset in the middle of my reading, in that I went out to my car, and I'm the designated driver tonight, and I checked that I had fuel and my car battery was dying, so I had to go like a run, as we call it. I had to drive somewhere that I didn't need to drive to make my car feel better so it could charge its battery again, which was super annoying. And my phone only had 3% charge, so I couldn't listen to my audiobook while I was doing it. So all of these things have meant that I think I have totted up 5 hours of reading in total, and that's great, but it's definitely not as much as I wanted halfway through. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have to say. I'm going to go now with my clicky clacky non-BookTube friendly jewellery and go and find some high heels and attempt not to fall on my ass on the dance floor. So by this time you will probably have seen the footage from the Cèilidh and the Burns Supper. It was really good fun. But for those of you who maybe spotted my Instagram during this period, it wasn't all fun. I had a pretty severe attack of IBS, and that led into a pretty severe attack of pain. Long story short, I ended up going home for about an hour in between, spending some time alone in the bathroom, and then heading back down, which is really unfortunate for any of you who have dealt with any kind of chronic illnesses, chronic fatigue, IBS, anything like that. It's really difficult because, for example, I was aware that I was in the toilet a couple of times when everybody was sitting down, and you know, it's not that big a hall, so a lot of people were noticing. And then on top of that, you have to go to the bathroom in a place where there aren't very many bathrooms, so it's quite clear. And then on top of that, you know, I went home and I came back, and it's a Burns night, so there's speeches, so I came back in the middle of the speeches and I had to make my way around the hall. And although nobody said anything, there's always that thing in the back of your mind where you're like, well, people know something's up and will have been speculating. And although at this point in my life I have got used to that and have accepted that life doesn't have to be defined by what other people think of you, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't feature at all. So yeah, that happens. That wasn't great, but apart from that, it was a fun night. There's some fun footage. It is now 22:34 and we're heading back about an hour and a half before everything's over, because Helen has work in the morning. So I'm gonna go home. I'm swithering about whether to film an actual booktube video because I have all this makeup on my face and I'm not that tired, but that will cut into my reading time. So I don't know if I don't know, guys. I don't know. I might have to do an Instagram poll, but I'll get back to you soon and I'll let you know what I've decided. And I don't know how to turn it off from this angle. I'm so professional. Hi guys, it's Lianne and it is 9:30 on the second day of the readathon. I haven't read anything yet, and I didn't read anything very much last night because unfortunately when I got home my body continued to hate me, and then after that I was exhausted, and I was so exhausted that I couldn't read, but I could listen a little bit. So I did listen to a little bit of Planetfall by Emma Newman, but also I was that way for like, I couldn't really take everything in, the words weren't all going in. Yeah, so one way or another I haven't read anything else, and I'm now sort of, I'm up, I've kind of threw a face on and put myself together because I want to work on a video today. Goal now I think is going to be 10 hours instead of, or 14 hours sorry rather, instead of 24, which is sad because I won't be able to join in for the prize packs at the end, but still, it is the spirit of the readathon that counts. So I'll get back to you soon.
I can see there's no reasoning with her, and that she's built up enough steam in her own.
Superhero movies and comic books teach a lesson that runs directly counter to the culture of violence idea. Guns are for bad guys, too cowardly to fight like men. Accidental shooting deaths, they argue, are just part of the price we pay for freedom. And besides, that sort of thing would never happen to me. I'm too cool-headed. George Orwell knew when he wrote 1984. If you say a thing often enough, it will be accepted as truth. Here's what a bad anxiety day looks like. Waking up in the middle of the night to remember that thing I said 5 years ago that probably came across as a bit rude. Time to linger on that memory until sunrise. Waking up to mentally list all the people I'm pretty sure hate me and why they hate me and what would happen if I bumped into them in the street. Here's what a good anxiety day looks like. Getting up well rested because I was actually able to sleep. Getting up and reading a book before I have to start the day because I've given myself enough time to slowly get out of bed and not bolt out the door. Sitting in a meeting and not worrying about projectile vomiting on anyone. Two Flower smiled brightly at them. "I'd like a record of the event," he said. "Do you think you could ask them all to stand over by the window, please? This won't take a moment. And, Rincewind?" "Yes." Two Flower stood on tiptoe to whisper. "I expect you know what this is, don't you?" Rincewind stared down at the box. It had a round glass eye protruding from the centre of one face and a lever at the back. "Not wholly," he said. "It's a device for making pictures quickly," said Two Flower. "Quite a new invention. I'm rather proud of it. But look, I don't think these gentlemen would, well, I mean, they might be sort of apprehensive. Could you explain it to them? I'll reimburse them for their time, of course." "He's got a box with a demon in it that draws pictures," said Rincewind shortly. "Do what the madman says, and he will give you the gold." Hi guys! So as you can probably tell from those last few clips, it was a pretty up and down end to the readathon, and yes, that is my Hoover in the background, and no, I haven't finished cleaning up this room. In all seriousness, I had a really weird readathon. I ended up getting to 11.5 hours, which was a little bit poop. I really wanted to get to my arbitrary 14. Well, I really wanted to get to 24, but obviously that wasn't on the cards. And it's just been so stressful. I came out of the readathon just out. You know what it is? I think I was still in a book slump from Alias Grace, and I don't think I ever really got out of that. And so when I went into the readathon, I was hoping that every book that I picked up was gonna fix it, and it really didn't. So in the end, I read about, we're gonna call that a quarter of The Colour of Magic, which is the first Discworld book by Terry Pratchett. And that lifted my mood endlessly. I read the first 51 pages of Force of Nature, but I couldn't go any further, not because it isn't fabulous, because it is, it truly is, which made me very happy, but because my brain just wasn't taking in. Hey, I'm filming a clip, can I ring you back in like 2 seconds? Okay, bye. That was Claire from the Book Fox. I'm still leaving that in. Anyhow, yes, not because it wasn't fabulous, but because I was starting to get to the point where I wasn't taking in people's names, and there's quite a few characters in this one, and that got really confusing really quickly. And then this happened. I'm sad about this. It's not the book, it's me. We'll chat about it more in my wrap up, but... And as you also saw, I read Guns by Stephen King, which is a short essay which is available on Audible, and that was great, and we'll talk about that one later. And I also read half of Planetfall by Emma Newman, which I still can't decide. I think I really should just stop listening to the audiobook and pick up the paperback and read it that way, because I don't think I'm getting the best from it. But I don't know. I'm so far into the audiobook now, I kind of feel like I've committed. So, that was my weird readathon. I hope at least that you enjoyed seeing the clips of what I got up to, especially at the Cèilidh, and it was nice to be all dressed up on camera for a change. And if you liked the vlog, the actual vloggy part of it, let me know, because I would quite like to do monthly reading vlogs this year, and I'm a bit scared that vlogging would be boring for you, and you wouldn't all like it. Paranoia. So let me know what you think, and yeah, that was my 24 and 48 hour readathon. How did you do? I bet it was better than me. Tell me in the comments. Okay, bye.